The live-action Aladdin movie, directed by Guy Ritchie, is a retelling of the classic Disney animated fairy tale musical adventure from years ago. And, they change a lot of things. Well, a lot of the details of the plots have been changed, but the basic premise is the same. Mina Masood plays Aladdin, the title character, who is a street rat, a thief in the city of Agrabah, who falls in love with the Princess Jasmine, played by Naomi Scott. Somewhere along the way, he is duped into helping, the Sultan's assistant, his assistant, helper, right-hand wizard, Jafar. I forget the actor's name, but I'll edit it in behind me, to go into the Cave of Wonders and get a lamp. But, Jafar wants the lamp for himself, and, he dupes Aladdin and tries to leave him in there and kill, to die with the lamp. But Aladdin summons, a genie from the lamp, or his monkey does, played by Will Smith, and, to grant him 3 wishes, and that starts the adventure. Aladdin's like, I gotta make Jasmine fall in love with me. The only way to do that is become a prince, make me a prince, and, it winds up with them, Aladdin, it serves a dual purpose of, Aladdin finding and having confidence in himself and who he really is, and, having to eventually defeat Jafar. And, in the process of finding himself, being himself, that's how he expresses himself to Jasmine, ultimately to make her fall in love with him, stuff like that. But there's a lot of other things going on in the movie, too, that I can't give away without spoilers, because they changed quite a bit. But I found Aladdin to be a pretty fun, adventurous movie. I know the critics are really tearing it apart on Rotten Tomatoes, which I'm surprised by, because it's a Disney movie, and people usually love Disney. Although the critics didn't like Dumbo that much either. But I think that where Aladdin's running into trouble is, this is a retelling of a classic animated musical. And I think a lot of the critics today were younger back then. They were either like little kids themselves or teenagers or young adults. And they have like a nostalgic kind of attachment to the classic Disney movie. And so they're comparing this one to that one. And like this movie in their heads can never live up to, the original Aladdin. For me, I like the original Aladdin, but I was still able to kind of divorce myself from that one and take this one as it is. I mean, did I enjoy this one as much as I did when I was, 9 or 12? I don't know the year, but I was around that age when the first Aladdin came out. No, I can't make myself a little kid again. But I did think it was an enjoyable, fun movie. And I'm thinking that's the problem, right? They're comparing it to, you can never go back home again, right? They kind of remember, the magic, the wonder when they were 12 or maybe even younger than that, and seeing, this animated tale, and now they see someone try and imitate that in live action. It's it's not the same, but the same or not, I thought the movie was a fun, enjoyable adventure movie. I actually thought that the plot in this live action movie was deeper, because they tried really hard to, I think, give more of the characters more things to do and who they are as people. Like Will Smith's genie, they actually do give him he has more scenes that I think show a bit of who he is and give him a goal by the end of the movie with, another character. He actually gets kind of a romance and things like that. Like they're trying to give the characters more to do in this live action tale than the other one did. And one of the characters they really did that with was Jasmine. Jasmine plays a huge role in this movie, and she has her own kind of story arc, her own journey in this movie that she did not have in the animated movie, it's the original tale. They really fleshed her character out and actually gave her her own storyline. And Aladdin his own storyline too. They actually gave the 3 main characters, all of them, things to satisfy themselves, right? Whereas in the original movie, I think every character was kind of serving Aladdin's story, to make him, and they had no goals for their own, really. Not for the most part, but this movie, they actually do try to give everyone, their own kind of through line, is what I'll say. And in the process, I felt that the movie was deeper and richer and had more, I think, to say about the characters involved, while still having that magical wonder and that whimsy. I did think that there were times, where I thought that the computer effects for Will Smith's genie, you could totally tell. They didn't look bad necessarily, not to me, but it did look instead of good movie effects, they looked like good video game effects. I could totally tell that was computer Will Smith and not really Will Smith. It didn't take me out of the movie necessarily, but I could tell that maybe some of the facial effects on the Blue Genie Will Smith maybe weren't really as fleshed out as they could have been. But, I may not have the eye for special effects that some of the rest of you may have. You might think it's perfect, it's flawless, but I was seeing some stuff that I was I'm not sure about that. They add in some new songs for the movie. Usually, I think the only new songs they gave were to Jasmine as part of fleshing out her character. But, there's classic songs like A Whole New World and, those songs in there, like Street Rat. I don't know what song that is, but they have the classic, Aladdin songs, but they add in a couple of extra ones for this song to give people. I think the only ones they gave him, the only one who got extra songs were Jasmine to help flesh her character out. So, I think Aladdin is a movie that, does have a lot of the whimsy of the original. If you can quit comparing it to the original in your head and let this one be its own thing, you should enjoy it. And your little kids will too. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like it on YouTube and subscribe to the channel because I appreciate your viewership, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.